Hey kids, today's project we're gonna make Traeger roasted tomatoes. We have amazing neighbors who have a relative who works in a commercial Florida tomato farm. He gives us crates of tomatoes. And so I make salsa. Jessica makes an amazing Italian sauce for like spaghetti or eggplant parm or chicken parm. Anyway, so today I decided, because we counted up, we have plenty of salsa right now. I decided to make Traeger roasted tomatoes. So, this crate was completely full of tomatoes this big. Here, for size reference. What? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the tomatoes, we're going to find the longer end of it, and what you do is you're going to just cut it core it, and then cut it right down the middle. And then you're going to put it on your cookie sheet face down. So you've got your tomatoes cut in half, you've got them cored, you've got them face down on a foil covered sheet pan. Now it's time to put them on the Traeger. Well, let's start with preheating the Traeger. So we're going to turn on the Traeger. We're going to turn it on to 450 degrees. As soon as it's preheated, we're going to put the tomatoes on the sheet pan and all, right into the Traeger, middle of the bottom shelf for 30 minutes. All right, so after 30 minutes in the Traeger, this is what they look like. And now what we do is we peel the skin off. All right, so now they've all been peeled. They're still on their faces. There's all your skins. Now we're going to give them a quick seasoning. I have this parsley, basil, oregano, and thyme mix from the local Italian place that I'm going to put on these. Just a little sprinkle on the back sides for starts. So you can see just very, very lightly sprinkled. Now what we have to do is flip them over, and we're going to scoop all of this out. All right. So we don't have to get it all out, but we just want to take out what's visible in the halves. So, like, see, this one is all cooked out. Here's some in this one. Just going to take some of that out of each one that we can get to without destroying them. All right. Okay, now that we've mostly de-seeded the tomatoes, this is what we're left with. All right. Now we're going to just sprinkle one big pinch sprinkled over the entire thing, and we're going to put it back on the Traeger for 5 more minutes to get a little more smoke flavor onto this side. Now we have smoke roasted tomatoes. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to go through and do a coarse chop. We're just going to cut, so this would be an entire half of a tomato. I'm going to cut it down the middle and then into like 3 pieces. It'll be coarse chopped. All right, so I've done some coarse chop here just so that you kind of get an idea of what I mean by coarse chop. You know, pieces are about that big. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fill pint jars with 1-inch headspace. If you're using a funnel, 1-inch headspace is about filling it to the bottom of the funnel. Now take a fork and just kind of go around and press the top down What you're doing is just kind of working out any bubbles that might be down inside your jar. Let's see here. Well, once we've done that, go around your major bubbles if you can get to them, get them out. There we go. Recheck your headspace. Perfect. That's one jar. I'm going to fill the rest of the jars. Now, once your lid is on, of course, you remember it's just the, I don't know if you know this, but when you're putting a lid on a jar to can, you hold the bottom of the jar with one hand and you turn the lid on with 2 fingers. And you just tighten it down till it's just finger tight, no wrenching. I can't really do it with one hand. Basically, you're just turning the lid until it stops turning, and then just a hair more than that. All right. So now I'm going to clean up a little bit, and I'm going to grab the pressure cooker. Now, one more thing. You might be asking yourself, gee, Eddie, I wonder why you covered your sheet pan completely with foil, top, bottom, all the way around. I didn't want the sheet pan to end up being smoked. I didn't want to have to clean it so that the next time we make cookies, they don't taste like smoked cookies. That's why. And this is what the bottom of the foil looks like from going through the Traeger. So, yeah. All right, so we got the old trusty pressure cooker out. Got about 2 to 3 inches of water in the bottom. Got it on high. Gonna bring that up to a boil, and then we'll put our jars in. Now, once our water's boiling, we're gonna put our jarred, canned, smoke roasted tomatoes into the water. We're going to put the lid on, we're going to put the cap on, and we're going to let it go on high until it hits 11 psi. Put your jars in. You want your water to be just under, I don't know if you can see where the water line is. It's about, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch under the rim of the lid. Once it hits 11 psi, then set a timer for 25 minutes. You'll have to play with the heat to keep it at 11 psi, but you want to, find your sweet spot and keep it at 11 psi for 25 minutes. At the end of the timer, just turn off the heat. You can pull the pressure cooker off the heat to the side to another burner and just leave it alone. Leave it alone until it's completely depressurized naturally by itself. Then you can open it. Careful, it's still going to be hot. Pull out your jars, set them on the stove, and let them cool on their own. And you should hear 6 little pops as the lids seal down. And there you have it. Homemade, smoke roasted Italian herb tomatoes. Hope you liked it. Da, da, da.